News has learned that the Bureau of National Investigations has released some of the 23 district directors of the National Service Scheme who were arrested last week in connection with alleged fraud at the Secretariat. The officials, including the Gansouth District Director, are said to have been asked to go home after spending some time in BNI cell. They are alleged to have connived and facilitated the payment of nearly 8 million Ghana cedis into Ghost National Service accounts. In July alone, up to 7.9 million Ghana cedis was paid into ghost and duplicate accounts. Officials, including the Director of National Service, Alhaji Emmanuel Hassan, was also fingered, accused of paying some 100,000 cedis to allegedly bribe BNI officials. Alhaji Emmanuel Hassan paid the biggest of the total of 200,000 cedis in bribes with the ultimate aim of reportedly concealing the facts. It is perhaps the biggest scandal to have been unearthed within the scheme that engages graduates from the nation's tertiary institutions. Investigations continue as government prepares to prosecute those found culpable. I'm joined over the telephone by educationist Dr. Ahmed Janapo. Dr. Janapo, you're welcome to the program.
How are you, my sister?
I'm very well. I trust you're fine too.
Yes, I'm doing very well, and happy Eid Ada.
Absolutely. Same to you. Baraka de Salah.
Well, same to you.
Right. When we turn attention to the national service issue and the fact that some 23 district directors have been asked to go home, would you say this could be the right way to start off in putting the scheme on its right path?
I think, first of all, it's unfortunate we are discussing this topic on an important day like this, which for the Muslims is a day of alms given to the poor. And it's very unfortunate that we need to be looking at this issue, but the reality on the ground is that this is what is happening. But if you ask me if that is the right way to go, I don't think I'm in a better position to make a statement to that effect, because it's a criminal issue, and I think the law agencies are doing what they need to do in order to unveil what is going on. But I think the issue and the discussion is bigger than just a criminal issue, in the sense that this whole national service concept is a concept that has been in place for some time now, and it's been in place for good reasons. If you remember some years back, most graduates from tertiary institutions, as you rightly put it, used to go to most educational institutions to teach. And I happen to be a beneficiary of this whole program where at Damango Secondary School, we used not to have teachers apart from national service personnel. So it's very unfortunate that this is happening, but it goes to more or less reveal some of the shortfalls that we have with some of these institutions that are mandated to help government in doing most of its work. But you see, when it comes to this particular issue, it's quite a delicate issue in the sense that, one, government one way or the other was involved, because we have been told it was based on the instruction of government or on the tip-up of government that the BNI one way or the other unveiled this whole menace. Secondly, you agree with me that the appointees at the National Service Secretariat, especially when it comes to the directorate, are people appointed by government. So it's a dicey situation. It's very difficult for you to either applaud government or to blame government. But I'm not even interested in apportioning blame. I think the right agencies need to do what needs to be done. But a bigger picture needs to be looked at when it comes to the whole national service scheme. I believe it needs to be a reconceptualization of the national service program, in the sense that the whole system whereby people or personnel are sent to government agencies, where majority of personnel are sent to government agencies, needs to be looked at and looked at again. I think the private sector has grown to a level that, at least, I do know that some personnel are sent to the private sector, but you do know very well that majority of them are sent to the public sector. I think we need to take a look at it, where most often personnel who are sent out, that system or that platform should be used as a basis by which they will be able to be groomed to enter into the job market. So oftentimes you have people graduating from the university, they're going to do their national service for 1 year, they are introduced into the system, or they are introduced into a system whereby they one way or the other live independently. Then after a year they come back. I think it's something that we need to look at. Secondly, talking about the private sector, I believe that if the private sector is going to be much involved in terms of recruitment and retention of personnel, then they need to be very much involved when it comes to the management of the National Service Scheme. Can you imagine if 7.9 million Ghana cedis was money that was coming from a private organization or group of private organizations? Definitely, they would have been very much involved in how the money is disbursed. So if you have people who are appointed by virtue of the fact that one way or the other, they were with the political party that came into power, or they work for government or whatever be the case, they tend to abuse the responsibility that is vested into them. So why is it that in Ghana, our National Service Scheme has not worked to its best? I think it boils down to leadership and management. Government should be an important stakeholder when it comes to the National Service Program, but it needs to be done in partnership with the private sector. And I think moving forward, the reason why organizations like the Peace Corps, the VSO, and all those organizations have thrived up to this time is because there's been accountability and people are always responsible for their stewardship. And that is what we need to do.
In the future, when we wish to reconceptualize the NSS, should we consider the position as the overall boss of the scheme, in that it should no longer be an appointment?
Well, I think that is one of the things that needs to be looked at as a start, in the sense that, you know, when we talk of a scheme of this nature, we are talking of a platform where young graduates, and we are not talking of people just from we are not talking of people from the JHS, SHS, or from what do they call the primary school. We are talking of people who, one way or the other, have been groomed or have been trained in a way that they can develop concepts of their own. So their way of thinking and their way of reasoning is one of independence. So you need to put somebody who is at par, if not above, this the reasoning capacity of these people who are put in who go through the National Service Program. So my suggestion is, if we are looking at appointment for a start, we should look at somebody, one, who is much knowledgeable when it comes to youth development programs. That is number one. Number two, we should look at somebody who is more interested and more knowledgeable when it comes to fund management. Because here, we are looking at people that we are placing into organizations that at least you need to get something out of it. Let's just do an unscientific survey of how much output we've had from National Service personnel who have gone into organizations and institutions. I mean, at best, most of them, their productivity is low because they see that as a transitional stage where most often what they are even doing vis-a-vis what they learn in school is not even comparable. I mean, there's no relationship. So that is why I'm saying that this whole issue, even though it is not the best that we should be discussing today, it should be a wake-up call for us to take a second look at the whole National Service Scheme, right from appointment, right from its objective, and right from its intents and purposes. I think Ghana has moved beyond the stage whereby National Service personnel are more or less sent to organizations or places for them to, one way or the other, experience something out of their comfort zone. I think it should be a platform for, it should be a grooming arena. It should be an arena whereby people use it as a stage to enter into formal, occupation.
Dr. Jinapo, we'll leave it here for now. Thank you very much for your time.